Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are splitting up after nearly 15 years together. According to a heartfelt social media post from Kandi. The moment those words appeared online, fans across the world felt a wave of disbelief wash over them, not because celebrity couples never break up, but because this couple, this partnership, this famously resilient duo, had weathered storms on reality television, business ventures, public scrutiny, and personal challenges that would have broken many people long before. For nearly a decade and a half, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker stood as one of those rare public couples who seemed to balance fame, family, ambition, and partnership with a kind of grounded maturity people admired. So to see Kandi, usually composed, focused, and fiercely private when it comes to protecting her family, share a message so vulnerably instantly signaled how heavy the moment truly was for her. When she wrote that after much thought and prayer, she decided to file for divorce. It wasn't just a statement. It felt like the culmination of endless private conversations, quiet nights with unanswered questions, moments of uncertainty, and likely countless attempts to salvage something that once felt unbreakable. Anyone who has followed Kandi's journey knows she doesn't move impulsively. She doesn't make major life decisions without deep reflection, without weighing the impact on her children, her businesses, her mental and emotional well-being. So that single line, after much thought and prayer, carried a weight that said more than any long explanation ever could. She acknowledged the emotional difficulty of the moment, admitting the pain without leaning into drama, without assigning blame, without revealing intimate details. Instead, she chose to speak about peace, motherhood, and co-parenting with love and respect. This alone revealed the entire tone of the separation: not destruction, not chaos, not scandal, but acceptance. A quiet ending to a long chapter that shaped both their lives. Kandi's focus on protecting her peace was not just a simple phrase. It reflected years of personal growth. Fans watched her evolve from a young R&B artist into a powerhouse entrepreneur, a mother who fought fiercely for her children's happiness, and a woman determined to maintain her emotional balance, no matter the storm around her. When she said she wanted to be the best mother she could be, it wasn't a performance or a PR line. It was a window into where her priorities truly lie. For Ace and Blaze, their world is changing, but their mother is determined to anchor them. That determination shows in how she framed the entire announcement, with dignity, maturity, and intention. Kandi went on to explain that she planned to pour herself into work, her family, and her own personal growth. This too was telling. For years, she's been known for her relentless work ethic, producing, writing, performing, managing businesses, starring on television, running brands, raising children, and balancing friendships. Now, it was clear she would channel that energy inward, using work not as an escape but as something stabilizing, grounding, and familiar. She thanked supporters, not just fans but everyone who had believed in her and Todd's journey. For a couple who had a very public relationship, who showed both their strengths and flaws on national television, that gratitude felt sincere. They invited people into their love story, their challenges, their blended family dynamics, their joyous milestones, and their tough moments. Saying thank you was her way of acknowledging that millions had witnessed their evolution and their attempts to make it work. Then she asked for privacy, a rare request from someone whose life has been on display for over a decade. Privacy, in this case, wasn't about secrecy. It was about healing, about allowing the family to adjust without constant commentary, speculation, or pressure. Behind the scenes, sources told TMZ the separation had actually begun months earlier. They hadn't had a messy breakup, no explosive fights, no social media battles, no accusations flying back and forth. Instead, the two simply grew apart, gradually, quietly, and naturally. It happens to many people, even couples who genuinely love and respect each other. Sometimes life, responsibilities, and individual paths shift so dramatically that staying together becomes an act of holding on rather than growing. The source emphasized there was legitimately no drama, which is rare in the entertainment world and even rarer for reality television couples. The calmness surrounding their split said a lot. It reflected the emotional maturity that defined their relationship from the beginning. Even though Kandi had stopped wearing her ring, indicating something had changed, the two still spoke every day on the phone or in person, a sign that affection, history, and mutual respect remained intact. Kandi had been staying in New York while Todd stayed in Atlanta caring for the kids, a living arrangement that likely added distance to what was already becoming a strained partnership. It wasn't a scandalous situation, It was logistical and emotional separation evolving simultaneously. They were living different schedules, different pressures, and different dreams. Their love story had started in 2011 on the set of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, a workplace romance that blossomed into real commitment. Todd proposed 2 years later, and in 2014 they married in a spectacular Coming to America-themed wedding. A celebration that people still talk about. It wasn't just a wedding. It was a statement of joy, culture, and creativity. A moment that embodied everything bold and unique about Kandi. Together, they welcomed two beautiful children, Ace, their son, who is now 9, and Blaze, who is turning 6. For anyone who has followed Kandi's emotional journey around fertility, motherhood, and blended family struggles, these children represent miracles, precious, intentional, deeply loved additions to their lives. That alone shows why she emphasized co-parenting with love. Their children are their greatest shared accomplishment. The one thing that will always link them no matter how separate their futures become. Why the split happened remains unclear. Publicly, there is no single moment, no scandal, no breaking point. But people close to Kandi know she has been incredibly busy with her expanding career. She is set to star in the Broadway show and Juliet, a massive opportunity that requires her full presence in New York. The show begins next month and runs through early March. And, insiders say, she isn't planning to miss any performances despite the emotional upheaval. That alone shows the complexity of her life, balancing stardom, motherhood, divorce, responsibility, and personal dreams simultaneously. It is a lot for one person, yet Kandi has always thrived in hyper-sure situations. She is built for resilience. As the news spreads, fans are processing it in waves. Many have watched them since their early RHOA days, seeing Todd step into a world he never expected, the world of reality TV, of public judgment, of heightened scrutiny, of balancing his own ambitions with Kandi's enormous career. Their love wasn't just romantic, it was also a business partnership, a creative collaboration, and a blending of families that came with real negotiation, compromise, and challenges. People remember how strong they seemed during obstacles. Arguments aired on television, family conflicts, differing parenting styles, business disagreements, and personal loss. They navigated all of that in public. So to see them separate now feels shocking in a quiet, heavy way. Not dramatic, but deeply human. Their love story was never a fairy tale. It was always real, grounded in both affection and the real-life pressures that come with ambition, blended family dynamics, and public exposure. They were often praised for their teamwork, how they supported each other's dreams, how Todd helped build Kandi's businesses, how Kandi trusted Todd's vision, and how they always tried to present a united front even when adversity hit. But sometimes, even when two people love each other, life evolves faster than the relationship can. Priorities shift. Schedules become demanding. Small disconnects become bigger ones. Love can remain, but alignment can fade.